I have a hunch this is going to be kind of one-sided. We'll see.
Keeping us waiting.
There you go.
Actually very similar to what we had last time.
Yeah, 76 to 18% last time. That was 76 for Empire, 18 for Na'Vi. Here we have 72 for G2 and 19 for Na'Vi.
And obviously G2 won the Invitational. They are the defending 2-time world champions, but they haven't really had that same level of success so far in Pro League. And we'll see if they can turn the tides. As you mentioned just a couple minutes ago, G2 are in a position where they might not make it to the LAN finals. The team with the longest streak of making it to LAN, unless my numbers are wrong, happens to be competing in this match. And it's not G2, it's Mouse. Under ENCE, they made it to every single LAN until Atlantic City happened. G2, to the best of my knowledge, can tie that record by making it to Milan. They've got a tall task ahead of them. The very first ban is going to be G2, and instead of taking Nomad out of the equation, well, they're going to ban Ying. So look at that. They said that Nomad would likely be their insta-ban, but it won't be the case here.
Was it a bait? Possibly.
Ooh.
Montaigne also going to be banned out, so neither Nomad nor Maverick gone in this match, and it's going to make this a very interesting match. I don't know, why didn't you tell us, Fabian?
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
That's an F in the chat.
Cantor Ketty went in. Fabian's there to support. And he's
how is an
he's
egg even
confirming
bald,
it now.
for the record? Like, eggs can't grow hair, so I don't understand how, like...
Yeah, it's less
Yeah, like, how are you
losing
like, oh,
hair,
an egg is bald. An
or a
egg is
distinct
not
absence
capable.
of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being like, you know the difference between, Pengu and a hardwood floor? The hardwood floor is already bald. It can't grow hair!
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, after it grows feathers, if you kind of... It's really...
Just don't read the chat.
It's reaching,
Just don't read the chat, please. Everybody. Not to detract from the analysis of these bans. Monty is a great pick on Clubhouse for every single team. But Pengu happens to be one of the best Monties in all of Pro League, and Monty gets played quite a lot on Clubhouse. Every single site, Monty can be quite effective, especially those two upstairs sites. Don't really see him all that much on Gym Master, but you will on CCTV and Cash, and you can see him rear his head on that church basement defense. That's obviously a ban there. I'm surprised that there will be no Nomad, and Mousesports isn't going to take advantage of the fact that Nomad is on the board. From what teams have said about her, she's not exactly strong on every single map and every single site. Clubhouse, it's harder to hold down a couple separate angles like an air jab would do. It makes sense that where on a map like Consulate, where you have those narrow doorways, those narrow hallways, she gets maximum value. Maybe not so much on the bigger rooms here in Clubhouse.
I'm also getting a little bit of a mixed opinion on Nomad from people I've been talking to. Some pros saying that she's just not all that great. Others saying, wow, she's ridiculous. Like Joystick, for example, in the interview we just had with him. So there's some serious mixed opinions. That is very common, though, when it comes to newer operators. I think it's going to take time for the not only Nomad, but also still the Australian operators as well to be really fully figured out by pros and find themselves in a place.
I mean, it feels like a couple seasons until we understood how strong Ying was, and a couple seasons to really understand the potential of Lesion as an operator. You know, it's not immediately evident. Like when Ella comes in, we knew that Ella was going to be strong right out the gate. When Lion came in, he was a little strong. So it's
a little
strong. He might have had a 100% pick rate for quite a period of time. But there are certain operators that come in that require a bit more finesse, and I do think that Nomad will need some time to really see what you can do with her on different sites and different maps.
Does Shate not normally play Maverick? Because I feel like this is something he's just been thrown onto. Like, it's not a...
Are you okay?
It's not a critique of Shate. I just feel like somebody said...
Oh, no, it's a critique of Shate.
No.
What is he doing?
I just feel like somebody just said, hey, Shate, you should play Maverick this round. He's like, okay. Because it doesn't look like he's...
I was going to say that it looked like his intention was to keep parts of it.
How many does he have left? How much torch does he have left is what I want to know.
2?
Probably like 2 and a quarter or something like that. So it wasn't the... Assuming he's got about 2 and a quarter, it wasn't the most inefficient one ever. Just a little weird. Oh, a potential K-trick, but it might be poorly timed. Just barely going to detonate. Great job there between Wilkie and Bonesy to get that drop open. and get rid of both of the Cade Electro Claws.
The patience here is they're just getting everything in order for possibly lobbing a Nitro Cell over top, and there's Fabian just waiting for the call, and it'll be Comfy. He might not be aware of his fate being in the hands of Fabian. Not too far off. That's Bonesy on the wall, so he's possibly going to be this intended target. As there you have it. He can hear the exothermic charge go off, and oh no, he misses, and the C4 will not grab the thermite charge either. To open up this panel in the garage, Fabian putting matters into his own hands. He takes out Bonesy and a beautiful double kill onto Comfy. Nobody from Mouse is able to get much headway towards Church. After getting that wall open, it's Fabian who will shut them both down.
Fabian has just been fragging so efficiently as of late, and he's going to start things off with the first 2 of this match. We'll keep playing inside of Moto. Long angle. Good to try and challenge into blue. He's got quite the scenery there. A lot to deal with in terms of angles. Jonas playing close. Fabian still there to support him. Only 14 seconds left for the last 3 attackers as they start to try and take control of blue, but Goga's going to say no. Jonas as well will do a lot of denial work, and here we go. One more kill for Jonas to lock out the round. G2 take the first one, and Wilkie barely avoiding a perfect round there.
Look at this quick scope.
Goga, quick scoper? Oh wait, that was Jonas.
That was Jonas.
Yeah.
Just as if he had the intervention in his hand. Just.
Or an unnamed sniper of sorts.
Well, you could say the name of the gun.
You could say either, man. All right, so CCTV cash room for G2 next. And that was a pretty solid defense of the basement. They had a few things that didn't work out, like, for example, that Cade tricking and the Moto drop. Not great, but mostly just comes down to Mouse having good counterplay there. Also, the fact that the church wall was opened up in the first place was difficult, for sure, for G2 to deal with. But the problem is that Mouse Sports just lost all their gunfights.
Also, Bonesy going prone at the open church hole, not expecting anybody to possibly peek that, is a bit puzzling.
Yeah.
Not quick enough to be able to relay that information to Comfy on the stairs, so.
Fabian's peek, I think, was the...
It's a good peek.
Yeah, the real solid thing for G2 there. Got them in such a, I think, sound position at the point where they really couldn't have thrown that round. I don't know what happened to Fabian. Did they change roles to put him on, like, in a position to frag better? Or what was it exactly?
They've got Jonas now on more of a support role with Fabian on more of a fragging role, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, Jonas's potential as a fragger in this season has really not been that strong, actually, when you think about it. Like,
as a fragger. Yeah.
Correct, yes. Yeah. His potential on the team has been huge, but he hasn't been getting kills, right? That fragging role. So if you've got Fabian, who is, to the best of my knowledge, actually second on the team to Kanto Raketti in total kills so far this season, I need absolute confirmation on that, but from what I recall looking at stats a couple days ago, that's where I distinctly remember it being.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Makes a lot of sense. This trick right here, just in case anybody's curious, has become pretty common. So essentially what you do is you draw a line on both the top and the bottom, and the entire metal sheet falls away. And then you can soft destruct it. Would you look at that? One of them's already fallen right off.
That's really good efficiency there from Chate. A little bit different than what we saw from the drop down. But, you know, as long as you get it done, then you're good. Curious that he only went for the 1 panel instead of the 2, though. Not sure why.
Could be saving his torch.
Maybe wants to get something else. But, I mean, you could. It's not that much decisions made. It's done. Life moves on. He's playing the long angle now to Garage, trying to get that pick. But look at this from Kanto Raketti. Prone, trying to shoot out onto the balcony.
Could also be that they simply want to use that second panel as almost a shield if they go for a post plant.
Fabian is second to Kanto on G2 in terms of kills right now. In terms of just kills.
There you go.
Kanto has 86 at the start of this match, and Fabian has 69. Shouldn't have said that. Pengu going to be playing at the top of Cash Stairs, and he's going to have the job of denying Workshop and Stairs at the same time. Jonas using his pistol, not going to get any work done as Boonsy will shut him down. Great job there to Boonsy, holding the long angle. Pengu's going to also be down to the top of Cash Stairs. Another one for Boonsy. KanToraKetty, though, starts the frags in G2's favor. Before Comfy shuts him down in Garage. An entry there from Goga to shut down. It's just up to him and Fabian, but what a flank, and he's gonna take out the cover, and not the planter, what? Boonsy with 3 in the round, and he's gonna be going for a 4th. As you can see, no, actually plants in the open! Fabian now in a perfect clutch situation if he can play his cards right. But he's got everything going his way. 16 seconds and he knows it. But he's going to go for a long rotate. This might not be the call for Fabian. He sees the angle, though, can't land the shots onto Slebin, who gets a great position and lands some shots through the wall with no information. Sparks coming out, likely from a Yokai drone. And here comes the push from Fabian, the pre-fire, but not the headshot. And Slebin in a 1 versus 1 with Fabian will take the round from Mouse.
Is that with the skeleton key? Yep.
Yes.
It sure was.
Oh.
It sure was.
What
how poorly Mouse played that.
Yeah.
And then how poorly Goga plays it going for the knife, and it misses. And then how poorly Mouse plays it again. Just a calamity of errors.
That was a big oh no round.
It just didn't look like either team had any idea what was going on for a considerable period of that round. Like 20 to 30 seconds, there appeared to be like a blackout on team comms and information, and they just were flying blind.
You know when you see two amazingly talented and perceptive teams just off by a few seconds or a few inches or whatever kind of metaphorical thing you want to use to describe it, it seemed like both teams were aware of what they should be doing, but just at the wrong moment. And you gotta imagine if you just shake that up one more time, and it's gonna look a lot clearer for both squads. But it's done now. We'll be going back to Cash for the second time in a row from G2. Obviously, I think they're aware how easily that round could have gone their way. And they want to give it another try.
There's too many mistakes being committed there from Mouse, and
I'm still laughing.
I know. But I mean, Mouse committed quite a bit of mistakes, last week too. If you look at their play against Secret, how many rounds on Villa, a map that Mouse is supposed to be very good on. We know that Secret's good on it, but a map that is supposed to be good for Mouse, Wilkie dying really early on a lot of different rounds. And
what?
Oh, no. Almost doing it again right in front of our very eyes. As Gomfy and Wilkie lose a lot of HP to a run out from Kanto through Stomp. Does not pay off for the Jaeger on G2 Esports' side.
Still damage done, so he didn't go away completely empty-handed, but you're right. Could have been a much better result there for KanToraKetty. And an excellent fragger to have off the board there, but still so much HP lost for free there on the side of Mousesports.
I just can't believe Kanto missed that many shots.
It's true.
He was right there, and it didn't look like anybody was watching. Gomfy had to move to be in a position to, actually do something. So, I was a little surprised, but...
So a lot of roamers here for G2. Fabian going to be working his way over to Kitchen. Do a lot from this position.
Pengu takes out what little was left of Gomfy, so both teams now find themselves down a man, or, in Mousesports' case, a woman, as it's IQ who's off the board. It's going to allow Fabian to possibly get back and control these main stairs. He's going to catch a body of Wilkie, who didn't really have that much HP left. Jonas using that shotgun to good use. And you say goodbye to Slebin and Mouse, now find themselves trailing by quite a bit. Jonas sustained quite a bit of damage, though. There's no Doc on the board, so Kaid will be very low on HP. Goga gets droned out. Wasn't able to really do much with the Bearing 9 on the previous round.
Oh, no.
Once again, more mistakes from Mouse. Missing a flashbang. They'll land this one on Agoga, possibly pushing on in. There's Bonesy. Sees one body, takes out Jonas, but Goga's there. Can't control the bearing for more than one kill. Shotay shuts him down. Pengu and Fabian. It's known as the dynamic duo of this squad inside of Cash. Shotay is going to be under watch, careful watch here, as there's a pixel angle being held from Fabian, and he'll be able to nail the shots onto Shotay. Prone on his belly. Could have possibly been an opportunity for Shotay to see the Valkyrie, but that is a very difficult shot to make when you're trying to pressure somebody on the top of red. G2 struggled on their Cash defense last round, but that round, they're successful. They'll regain the lead.
I feel as though G2 corrected a lot of the mistakes they were making in that round. Mousesports, not so much. The way that they attacked that was a little bit one-dimensional. It looked like they were trying to take control of construction or workshop, as some people call it, so that they could get a two-pronged assault off, but Fabian had an excellent roam on that side of the building and was able to deny that push. There's also a mute playing inside of the bathroom, master bathroom. So there's a good duo there. Overall, just a really confusing round for Mousesports. As soon as they lost the construction push, they didn't adjust in any way. They just decided to try and make their pushing through server. And I don't know, they had to have known there was going to be too much resistance for that to possibly come out successful. There was also still the Yokai drone in sight, which has been a huge influence on a lot of these rounds. The fact that Yokai is not banned, or well, sorry, Echo's not banned, of course, being so influential here. G2 are taking full advantage. A confusing round for Mousesports. Great round from G2, and Fabian, I think the star of the show for me, making sure that there was no potential taken to workshop by flanking it and taking it down. Now, we'll be going to the basement, and again, G2 will be roaming. No alibi this time from Cantor upstairs, and an unreinforced drop-down in stock. This is curious.
Is that a mistake, or is that deliberate?
I mean, I would have to imagine it's a mistake unless G2 has something else specific that they need to reinforce. Like, I want to know what G2 reinforced downstairs. Because we know that, we can know if it was a mistake or deliberate. It looks like, yeah, it was deliberate. They wanted the reinforcements in blue for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that will make it easier to play in the corner of Church.
They've got a reinforcement also over by Pulse Spot.
Yeah.
Even though there's no Pulse in play for G2.
That'll make it so that the attackers can't just work their way into Workshop.
Slebin somehow is the first person, and once again, Comfy will go down as it's a second kill for Fabian on this entry from Mouse that has proven to be so lethargic and really easily controlled by Fabian too, as it's now Shotay who will walk on up to Fabian's office. Wilkie will join him. Wilkie has not used an EMP on that one hatch inside of Bar. If Wilkie gets into an engagement here, then Wilkie goes down without that Electroclaw being taken out. But I mean, I guess you can breathe a little bit easier because you got Shotay who can at least blowtorch it and likely take the Electroclaw out at that point.
Yeah.
Wilkie using one of his EMPs on the dirt push that will likely come from either Wilkie or Bonesy.
It looks as though Mousesports are completely stacking up for a dirt tunnel take with the last 3 men they have available. This is not going to work.
There's a Yokai and there's a Legion that can stop you. With the Legion throwing out these goo mines, there's a Yokai to be able to give you all this information. Pengu narrowly avoids getting flashed, but his position is known. He takes one body down. It's Fabian credited with the kill. As Pengu takes out another, and they're all going to die inside of the tunnel. Nobody will be able to escape it, as it will be a cave-in from G2, and it will bury every single member of Mouse inside of that escape tunnel, or dirt tunnel, depending on how you want to call it. Very puzzling maneuver from Mouse, knowing that there's an Echo and a Legion on the board to go through dirt.
It's a puzzling play there to go through dirt. On top of that, losing 2 players to the roam of Fabian in Cash, and then just, hey, let's let Fabian run back to site, not punish him for those 2 kills. I don't know. I'm just very confused by how Mouse are handling some of these rounds. And that's it. Fabian, though, can't take anything away from him. He deserves the credit. That is getting those 2 early kills and really blunting the momentum of Mousesports in that round individually. So great job to Fabian. Again, he has been the standout fragger for G2 lately. I don't know why, but he has, certainly. I think it has to do with how G2 are deciding to position their players. Here's the thing. Anybody on G2 could be a fragger if you want to put him in that role. That's kind of the beauty of G2. So, yeah, well, he's been really having a blast on Valkyrie here today. He's been playing Valkyrie every single one of these defensive rounds and getting a couple kills in most of them.
I'd have to wonder, and if G2 does prevail, we can ask this in the post-interview, simply about if G2 has changed anything up with its shot calling, because obviously Fabian is the person who does the primary shot calling, but there was a period of time around DreamHack Valencia where, if you remember, Pengu was the one who was doing the shot calling for, I think it was a couple maps in their Valencia run, but then they ended up going back to Fabian, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's earned that title of one of the best IGLs, if not the best IGL in the game, for pretty good reason, I would say. So,
yeah, variety is the spice of life, and can give you experience sometimes.
I mean, so let's go back to the Mouse G2 matchup at the start of the season. One of the issues with G2 was all of their entries seemed to be separate from one another. Kanto and Jonas were coming in through a variety of different doors, different windows, with very minimal droning, and no real information, right? Well, now it's Mouse who appears to be flying blind a lot of the times that they come in. And they've been caught an awful lot by G2 at every failed entry.
Yeah, getting punished. Speaking of, I'm surprised that Cantor isn't being punished right now, because I feel like every single time I've ever watched G2 on Clubhouse, Cantor is playing Jaeger in Garage, and he's opening up an angle for the roof. It's so predictable. And Mouse doesn't seem aware of it, which is especially unfortunate considering Cantor is an ex-teammate. Now, he's still playing on the roam. Gomfy possibly about to get a kill here on the Bandit, but nope. Shot's not landing in time.
Just a reminder to a lot of people who play IQ, when somebody is on their drone or on their camera, it gets detected as an electronic. That's how he saw. Because I think there's a lot of people who actually don't know that.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine.
Pengu's under fire here. Sleben has fallen once again. It looks like the C4 from Pengu does not connect as it needs to. Fabian will get kill number 9 onto Wilkie. And using this Maverick hole that's been opened up inside of the garage, it's an advantageous position for Pengu inside of the bathroom. Or not garage, rather, on the bathroom wall, just outside by jacuzzi wall.
Pengu's just trying to waste some time. Just trying to distract. He's not actually looking for a kill when he peeks that hole. He's just trying to spray and keep everyone focused on him. And he's, well, accomplishing that goal.
It sounds like Jonas is going to be the one to do some damage to Shate this time around. A little bit of fin-on-fin violence. Pengu's still just holding inside a bathroom. He knows that somebody's going to have to push in at some point, but he's a little too slow to the punch. Jonas won't be, though. Takes out Bonesy, looks for a second. Shate shuts him down. Goga comes around the corner to have his teammates back. And it all comes down to Pengu inside of that bathroom. Nobody able to shake him off of that wall. It doesn't matter where you're pushing from. He's got the pre-fires ready. The rotate will not come out for Gomfy, as it will be G2 picking up yet another round victory, this time on the Gym Master side, and they have been perfect on the 3-site rotation, and they can go somewhere else now for their very final defensive round.
They've been having a very solid defensive half so far, and by they, of course, I mean G2. And they'll finish it on cash. The only site that has been successfully attacked by Mouse, but that was... yeah, we could say that one was a flash in the pan. We always like to wonder what is and what isn't. That one was, at least so far from what we've seen. And a lot of successive mistakes made by G2 resulting in the win for Mouse Sports. But mistakes made by Mouse Sports as well. I mean, it was just a generally weird round. Interesting thing to note for me, Sakaid has been a staple operator for G2. The DMR shotgun hybrid has also been prevalent. Jonas is seemingly really taking a liking to that one. Last round, one thing I would like to note is that Jonas managed to get a kill from a very tight angle using that shotgun. And he also did damage to another player. The thing is, just hitting a limb one time with that shotgun is going to do a lot of damage and put anyone on attack in a situation where, yeah, okay, I got a flesh wound and now suddenly I can't take a fight for risk of losing it unless I'm always hitting those headshots. So serious damage potential from that shotgun on Kaid. Call him Kaid, right?
Kaid.
Kaid. Okay.
Kaid.
Kaid.
Everybody wants to say Cade. I find that Kaid is just as easy to see.
Yeah.
Or easy to say.
I like Kaid.
It's harder.
I think Kaid is easy. I don't know why.
I wait till hear what Ubisoft wants us to say. It's their operator after all, right? So it looks like they finally managed to get the panel off on the wall. Shate has been doing a much better job on the CCTV wall than he did on the hatch over top of Blue that was in stock.
That's true.
As all Mouse up top waiting to possibly press on in. It's been a sputtering offense for Mouse, despite them having a plenty of utility and lots of tools at their disposal. Their collapse on the site has been very poor. They have not really controlled a lot of the map while doing so. Kanto going for a run out and missing almost every shot, but then finally downing Wilkie. And Pengu's there as well. You saw those Valkyrie cameras being put to good use. Down goes Gomfi, and 2 members of Mouse will fall the first half of the round.
Well, I'd say that's a solid start for G2. Fabian looking for his own frag. A little envious of his teammates getting so many frags without him. He's going to be challenging 2 players at once. He'll be blinded inside of Garage, and no follow-up from Mouse, so no kill. And Fabian persists. Cantor now there to support Fabian, allowing for the crossfire, and that's going to allow Fabian to rotate and get his first kill. Now looking for a second, and he will get it as the Thermite runs into the building. G2, perfect round. And they go up 5-1.
Really disappointing with what I've seen from Mouse so far. I mean, the Mouse Secret matchup, the big question was how much of that was Secret bouncing back after picking up Fonkers versus how much of that was Mouse just simply not being very good. I think we can kind of have the answer here. It was a 7-2 for Secret as they looked strong, and Mouse really fell off. Clubhouse is a good map for G2. Not that there are really any bad maps for G2, but it should not be a 5-1. Right now, Mouse really just struggling to gain information, struggling to gain ground. They've had a lot of problems just getting in the door, and it's hard for you to be able to control the map and gain that map control when you can't even get in the building.
Yeah, I mean, the most that we got in terms of building control on the side of Mouse for that last round was Lounge, really. And that ended up being Mouse's undoing as well, as they hadn't cleared out the roamers. Cantor comes from behind. He's in bar, and now Fabian is allowed to push out of Garage because you're not covering it anymore. Why are you not covering anymore? Because you don't have enough manpower. And why don't you have enough manpower? Because you lost somebody to Kanto and Pengu in the first 30 seconds. Or lost 2 people to those individuals. So, yeah, something that I think really cost Mouse in that round is how, actually, just to summarize that whole half, G2 doing what they want, Mouse not punishing at all.
The crazy thing is that every single round, there's been an IQ on the board for Mouse.
Yeah.
And yet you still can't pinpoint where the Yokais are. You still can't pinpoint where the Valkyrie cameras are. You're just not getting a lot of value out of that gadget that is not solely designed to find those 2 gadgets, but really help you. Better than almost any other operator that exists in this game. Better than a Twitch, better than a Thatcher. There's really no reason why the way that Gomfi was using that IQ at almost the forefront of action as one of the main entry fraggers for Mouse Sports, that he wasn't in more of a support role, or at least, oh no, Kanto Raketti almost dying to his own frag grenade, at least being put in a position where somebody else is on that operator. And down goes Gomfi to Kanto Raketti. Maybe it's just an off day for Gomfi here, but really, it looks like for Mouse, it's been a bit of an off day across the board, and G2 is having a field day with the lack of coordination that Mouse has brought so far through this match.
I don't know, Gomfi gets a big old why are you holding that angle question from me. Confusing. Wilkie will take down Jonas though, and that's the diffuser as well, so that's a really big kill for Wilkie on the roam. Not sure if he knows he has the diffuser, but it seems as he opens up that wall, he is aware. Slebin's going to come up to support. Kantor Raketti will go down. So here we go. Mouse Sports showing some signs of life. Love to see it.
Why is Pengu on hard breach? Number 1. Not even secondary hard breach. He's on full hard breach, you know, because you got Fabian on the Maverick. So that's a bit of a puzzling situation. Then Jonas holding that diffuser and not having Pengu have it, I don't know. But Mousesports is being gifted around for the time being as G2 are once again entering all on their lonesome with nobody having any information. And Mousesports is there to greet them every single step of the way. Fabian is expecting a possible player to push him, but no, it's Wilkie. Will get found by Pengu as it's once again Fabian and Pengu to do the work for G2. The site is downstairs. So in order to go down to church, you need to take control of these hatches and possibly even the church wall. It's a good thing that it's the dual hard breachers that are left for G2.
Yeah.
Fabian sees one body, but cannot land the shots onto Slebin. He'll find one of Slebin's goo mines, though. Possibly awaiting a push here from somebody on Mouse. But no, they're just going to stack up onto the church wall. And it's going to be Fabian to cut out the floor beneath them. Not exactly the most perfect application. The smoke of Boonsi will take a little bit of damage on the Pengu, who can't find all the kills. You'll see Shate's elbow on the Valkyrie as Fabian walks in amidst the toxic canisters, losing quite a bit of HP. He's going to go back to torching this wall, waiting to see if the Valkyrie is going to show herself off. She will. Pengu's doing a little bit of damage here, but not really all that much. Fabian is basically dead in the water, and now Pengu will be in a 1v3. A bit of a lackluster round from G2 that should almost certainly go in the way of Mouse, despite some heroics from Pengu here. He's going to twist, walking down the hallway. He'll grab that diffuser, but he's out of time, and he'll meet his fate at the hands of the shotgun. And Bonesy prone in the Moto doorway. Bit of an anticlimactic round. Still an impressive recovery for Mousesports after a lackluster attack. They're going to need a couple more of those in order to close the gap between themselves and G2.
Most of that came down, in my mind, to the roamers from Mousesports being able to do so much work upstairs. 3 kills for them. I have to imagine if G2 had one more man there, though, it might have just gone in a totally different direction. The fact that it was on just one player of Pengu to hold the angle and try to challenge the Valkyrie while Fabian started opening up those holes just wasn't enough. The Valkyrie played that really well. But most of the site action wasn't actually, like I said, the most important thing in the round. It was quite interesting the way that the last 2 G2 players tried to play that. I think, again, it just mostly comes down to how well Mouse roamed and how long it took G2 to punish and how much manpower it cost them. Though they did a better job of it than what we were seeing from Mouse when Mouse was on the attacking half, so there's that. It'll be a cash room defense next from G2. Or rather, Mouse. We're on the second half here. It's one of those days. Still dual hard destructors here from G2, as you can see. As is per normal here on Clubhouse.
It's the same lineup from G2 that we saw last round. Now, maybe it's just me, but I understand that there's flexibility from G2, but it's usually Jonas playing the Buck. Now you got Kanto on that. You got Jonas playing the IQ that sometimes Kanto would play on. You've got Goga playing the Zofia rather than having him on Hard Breach like Pengu. How much of this is just G2 experimenting with new roles in order to, as we mentioned, possibly give Fabian more of a frag-oriented role to pick up the pace where the rest of his team might not be doing what he expects from them as IGL, versus how much of this is them knowing that they have a comfortable lead over Mouse and they just want to try something new and maybe not, I don't know, maybe not show strats.
I figure either or. It doesn't... Right now, I feel like G2 are probably one of the most flexible teams out there. So no matter how you look at it, they're going to be capable of playing any roles they want. And that's one of the traits that I think has always made them stand apart. Kanto Raketti gets the first nade onto Bonesy, so that's a good start. And clearly he's having fun on Buck.
Target acquired, and with Bonesy, that might be one of 2 C4s that are off the board for Mouse. You still have Wilkie on the pulse to possibly be somewhere off-site. He's actually right now inside of Cash, so he's pretty firmly in sight. Sees the little remnants of Mute just not too far off on the cardiac sensor. It's going to be Jonas trying to hunt down the pulse and rely on maybe a lucky headshot through the floor. The bullet pen of IQ's pistol. But there's Slebin, takes out Jonas. Kanto Raketti immediately refrags. It's 2 kills for the Buck thus far. Goga finds himself in an altercation, but he can't land any shots as he and Fabian are both now quite low. Both sitting roughly around 50%. Kanto Raketti is so good. It's his 3rd kill so far in this round and his 2nd frag grenade to find its target. Comfy has an eye on Stock as he sees that the garage door is also cut open. And there's Pengu to shut Comfy down, and G2 find themselves in a situation that they almost certainly can't lose. Doesn't matter what role you put him on. Pengu's there to get the very final kill on G2, and the final 2 kills, rather, as the Thermite. And that's 1 point secured for G2. They're 1 away from a victory that they sorely need if they want to go to Milan.
It certainly seems like it's going to be their victory, the way this has been playing out. You've been seeing a lot of desperation on the side of Mousesports, the way they've been playing. The way they played that basement defense, solid. The roam, great. Get the frags, fall back to site, excellent. Hard to lose in that situation. They didn't. That cash defense, especially around Garage, again, a lot of desperation. You saw, especially, you could even see it with Comfy there. He was trying to challenge from the main stairs in Garage, or rather the catwalk stairs, or whatever you want to call it, Garage stairs. And why is he doing that? So he can get a kill or 2 and bring it back into his team's favor. Because there's already such a manpower disparity that he has to challenge. He can't just wait. It's not an option at that point when G2 has you up against a wall. So, tricky spot for Mousesports, that's for sure. They're going to go back to cash, it seems, to try and double down on this bomb site. And this could it's the 3rd defense for Mousesports and could be the last round of this match.
What kind of changes Mousesports might need to make, because, you know, so far you've won 3 rounds in 2 weeks. You didn't do so well in the invitational qualifiers at all. You're one of the first Pro League teams knocked out, if I remember correctly, back when they were still ENTs. Really hasn't been the start to the second half that this team has wanted, especially when they were, you know, 4th place through the entirety of or amongst the top 4 teams, most of the entirety of the first half of the season.
Yeah, they were having a good start, I think.
It's definitely cooled off.
Yeah, and G2 is starting to pick it up because they were in the opposite boat.
Well, they were just saving strats, Michael.
Of course, Parker. Now, I think there's a possibility that Mouse can get a few more rounds out of this, maybe hurt their differential, but the way it's looking right now, I find it hard to believe that G2 are going to lose 4 rounds in a row. It would be a miracle run if Mousesports were able to pull that off, especially with the way that they've been playing. It just seems like, if nothing else, they're disheartened. But, hey, that's just speculation. I don't know what's going on in their heads.
It's really easy for us to dwell on the negatives.
Yeah.
When things have really been going sideways as much as they have for Mouse. This has really not been a very strong game for them at all. But Kanto Raketti doesn't really seem to understand that that entire wall just gets blown out next to him, and down goes the Buck, who was so effective in the previous round. He was able to collect 3 kills, 2 of which coming at the hand of his grenades.
It's a fantastic kill there from Slevin. Good operator to get off the board. Could be an easy kill on the Wilkie. He's been spotted out, and Goga has the ability to open up the soft wall that was in construction, but he chose not to. Instead, just going to hold this angle, expecting a rush that will not come. So you can see Wilkie falls back to site. Mousesports are good at realizing when they have the advantage and just bringing it back to site. Fabian, though, going to take that advantage away by eliminating Slevin. So the roamer, gone.
So each team finds themselves at 1 body with a minute, or 1 body down with a minute to go. Now, for the time being, favors the defense. Jonas doesn't really appear to be that close towards the site. He has Goga with him as an escort. He's tracking that Yokai, and he'll get it. There you go. So Shate losing one of the valuable tools that an Echo has, which will prompt Shate off of his phone/arm piece, and now just simply going for pure fragging potential. Pengu finds 1 body, transfers onto a second, gets the confirmed kill on Shate as Wilkie retreats very wisely. But Pengu's lost quite a bit of HP. Now, knowing that red is possibly clear, G2 will storm all the way on up. There's only 1 body left, and it's Bonesy, who has his back turned to G2. And it sure seemed like they wanted that one over in a hurry. G2 putting in an excellent performance, a dominating one. 7-2 scoreline for G2 to pick up 3 very crucial points.
That was a beautiful play there from G2. I really got to hand it to them. Their teamwork is impeccable. As soon as Pengu got the pick on the player who was meant to hold cash stairs, Pengu said, hey, Nobody's holding cash. And 2 players drop from Workshop, run their way up cash stairs, and Site Control is now completely lost to Mouse. It's a great round from G2, a great match from G2.